It's time for another tier list video, guys. Today I'm going to be ranking every single female red flag on a scale from yellow flag, which is like the lowest, and if you're wondering why there's no green flag, it's because nothing on this list is a green flag. At best, it's going to be a yellow flag, meaning neutral. On top of that, we have orange flag, which means we're approaching red flag territory, but you know, I'll let it slide, okay? I'm going to let things in this category slide. Red flag, be careful. Now we're starting to get a little bit risky. Major red flag, meaning stay the fuck away from this girl at all cost. And then the final boss, we have communist flag. This is a dangerous trait that a woman can have. It's never going to end well if she has any of these characteristics. I hate to break it to you. You might as well quit while you're ahead. Now, you guys seem to be loving these tier lists, and I have a couple more ideas that I'm going to be releasing over the next few weeks. So thank you guys for the support. I believe the channel got around like 55,000 views in the last month, which is around 55,000 more than I got last month. Now, before I start the video real quick, I want to say I've been noticing a lot of black pillars in my comment section lately, and I'm going to reply to pretty much every single person that's been commenting like, dude, none of this shit matters, bro. It's only looks and height. By watching my videos, guys, you're not gonna necessarily get the most girls. If you're interested in fucking every single bitch you come across, go watch a different channel. I'm sure there's many dating channels out there. My channel is for quality, not quantity, because I want you to capture her heart and soul. Because how many good looking and tall guys do you know? They attract a lot of girls, but they can't keep any single one of them. And I hate to break it to you, but even if you look like this, you can still turn her off. So if you only want to hook up with a girl and then get ghosted by her the next day, fine, don't pay attention to things that turn her off and shit tests and manipulation tactics. But we are interested in keeping women and making them obsessed, and that only comes through emotional strength and fortitude. That's why that is arguably even more important than superficial things like your looks and height. But I know there's going to be black pillars. They can keep commenting. I have a tier list dedicated to you guys coming up next. And remember, guys, this tier list only pertains to relationship material women. If you want to go and fuck a girl who's committing all of these red flags, I don't care. This is just about whether you should qualify them for a relationship or whether you should pass on them. First off, we have mixed signals, and all mixed signals really mean is that the girl is medium to low interest, because if a girl was high interest, she would never be giving you mixed signals. Some people get this wrong. Some people assume that if a girl is giving you mixed signals, then she automatically doesn't like you. This isn't true, okay? I've had so many girls give me mixed signals initially, and I was able to raise their interest. But you know why I was fucking retarded for doing that? Because it's a waste of time. Because why would you put in so much effort into raising a girl's interest when you can already go for one who's high interest? And yes, you're gonna lose a lot of women by doing that, but I would rather have the heart and soul of one woman than the body of 10 of them. Because one night stands who ghost you the day after are horrible for your self-esteem and horrible for your sense of self-respect. So if a girl's giving you mixed signals, guys, it doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't like you. All it means is that she doesn't like you as much as you want her to. So why would you date somebody who doesn't want you that much? That's up to you to decide. If you want to raise her interest level, I'm gonna put this at red flag. Next up, plays hard to get. This is also a red flag for the same reason. If a girl plays hard to get, it just means that her interest in you is not high enough. Don't think of interest like an on and off switch. Think of interest like a spectrum. And the guys who have the least experience with women struggle with this, because if you're somebody who's experienced high interest with women, your standard is going to be very high for what you accept. But if you're a guy who has no clue what high interest or low interest looks like, you're going to think that these games are normal. So if a woman plays hard to get, make that decision a regret. Next up, we have phone addict, and I'm just going to immediately put this at major red flag, because bro, there are so many situations I've been in where I was just out with a girl and this bitch cannot stop looking at her phone. Like, we'll be having dinner, I'll be asking her questions. Oh sorry, notification, Snapchat, Instagram. Bitch, I'm right in front of you. What the fuck are you doing? Like, this is so annoying to a lot of guys because it's honestly just disrespectful. Like, let's be real, that shit is disrespectful. But some women literally can't help it because they're so addicted and their dopamine receptors are so fried. They need to look at their phones, they need to check, they need the attention. Don't mess with these chicks, guys. Trust me, you're never going to have a present, fulfilling conversation with her. You're never going to be happy in her presence. You're just gonna feel like she exists and she's just there with you. Next up, too passive. Now, it isn't female nature to be passive, right? The masculine is active. You're the one who makes the decisions. You're the one who takes the actions. The woman is passive. She just sits there and receives and looks pretty. However, if she's not doing any pursuing at all, if she's being way too passive, if she thinks that she can just sit there and get all the attention from you, get all the investment from you, get everything without putting any effort in, this is a horrible mindset. You're not going to feel fulfilled in your relationship because, be honest, bro, as a guy, you kind of want to feel chased and wanted as well. It's unfair for you to make her feel chased and wanted. And I actually have a story about how passive some girls can really be. So when I was younger, I was experimenting with something called subliminal messages, which is basically audio that has affirmations in it that's supposed to reprogram your mind. And it's kind of along the lines of manifestation and law of attraction and shit, which, spoiler alert, that's a field that's heavily dominated by women. And these subliminals take a long time to work. You're supposed to listen to that shit every day for like 2 or 3 months. Some women will sit there and listen to affirmations about making a guy text her first for 2 months. Can you guys fucking believe that? Like, they would rather sit there listening to subliminal messages to somehow manifest a text message from the guy rather than just reaching out and texting him first. Some women are stubbornly passive. If you pointed a gun to their heads and said, you have to text this guy or I'm gonna shoot, they're dying. So I would say being too passive is a red flag as well. Be careful with these girls. You're not gonna feel fulfilled. You're always gonna feel scammed, like you're always doing everything. Next up, insecure. I'm going to put this at yellow flag because pretty much every woman is insecure about something, right? A lot of them are insecure about their looks. That's why they wear a lot of makeup. Some of them are insecure about their bodies. It's not really like a deal breaker in terms of red flags. But at the same time, you have to be careful with these girls because if you're like a good looking, attractive guy and you have a lot of status and like you're successful in the superficial sense, she's going to be so intimidated by you. If she's a very insecure girl, she's actually not going to entertain you as much because she's going to get competition anxiety because she's going to think all the other girls are chasing this guy. I don't want to even join the competition. I don't even want to compete because they're scared of being rejected and they have fragile egos. Next up, too many guy friends. This is a communist flag, probably the biggest one on this list. If she's always surrounded by men, this just means that she seeks a lot of male validation and attention and she can't live without it. And your validation and attention as the boyfriend or as the lover is never going to be enough. That's why she has a lot of guy friends. Another reason is because she also wants a lot of backup options because women don't just commit to a guy and throw away all of their options, right? They're going to keep backups just in case. And that's what a guy friend is. It's just a guy who's next in line. That's why we as men instinctually hate guy friends because we understand what they really represent. And some women are so delusional that they'll tell themselves, no, this guy's not trying to sleep with me. This guy's not trying to smash me. Bitch, you know what he's trying to do. You know he's trying to sleep with you. Okay, stop acting stupid. And every time a girl I'm talking to tells me, he's just a friend, don't worry, like he would never do anything with me, I immediately tell them, okay, call him, pretend to be horny and see what he does. And they never do it because they also subconsciously understand that these guy friends want to fuck them. I'm yapping too much, but the point I'm trying to make is if a girl has guy friends, it's never on the guy's terms. It's always on the woman's terms. But unfortunately, in this modern day, every woman has guy friends. So we're in a pretty sad situation. Now we have the pick me girl, and this girl is just the type of girl who acts different from all the other girls. I'm different. I'm special. I have different hobbies and tendencies and shit. I'm gonna put this at orange flag. Usually these kinds of girls are actually not different at all. These girls are exactly the same as who they pretend they're not the same as. And I find that these girls actually tend to have more red flags than like the normal girls. Next, no sense of humor. I never judge a woman on her sense of humor. Most of them have shitty sense of humors. Like, when was the last time a girl made you laugh, bro? Be honest. Exactly. So if we hold them to the same standard we hold men to when it comes to humor, we're never gonna get a girlfriend. So I'll put this in yellow flag. Next up, we have ratchet friends. This is a major red flag because a woman's friends will tell you so much about her personality, about how she thinks, and about her red flags and her tendencies. If she has 5 friends and they're all thoughts and they're all going to the club every day, she's going to be the 6th. If her friends have a lot of guy friends, she's going to have a lot of guy friends. Most women are copycats of their friends. Men, yes, we're the same, but it's not as much, right? You could have a guy who's kind of an outlier in the group. Like all the homies in the group are smoking weed and shit. He doesn't smoke weed. I've seen that. With women, it's never like that, okay? They are identical to their friends personality wise. Next up, active on social media. So she has a full inbox of dudes hitting her up. She constantly posts on her stories and shit. This is a red flag. I'm not gonna put it at major red flag because like most girls are active on social media, but this is also attention seeking behavior. And trust me, when you date her, she's still going to have her backup options in her inbox. She's still going to post because all social media is to a woman is an expression of her hypergamy. Her female nature thrives off of social media because she now has infinite access to men and she can always upgrade from guy to guy if she's just patient enough and waits for the right guy with that verification tick to slide in her inbox. Next, has tattoos. Some women look hot with tattoos, but there's definitely a correlation between women with tattoos and bad mental health, trauma, promiscuity, and a lack of morals and values. I don't necessarily know why this is the case, but I definitely notice women with tattoos tend to lean closer to the devil than the ones who don't. So this is unfortunately a red flag. Next, we have loud. You know, some women just like to talk so fucking loud and it's annoying. Like, you'll be saying some shit and then she'll just try to talk over you and she's always fucking yapping and shit. This is more annoying than it is a red flag. So I'm gonna put the loud girl at orange flag. Competitive. So if you notice that a woman is competitive, this is the biggest sign that she has a lot of masculine energy. When it comes to things like sports, video games, money, academics, like if she's always trying to one-up you. Me personally, I feel like this is just them trying to be men, which is a product of the modern day. I'm not hating on it, but it's like, do you want to date a girl who's competitive and has masculine energy? I would rather be the competitive one with masculine energy, and I would rather her have the nurturing feminine side. So I don't really like competitive women personally. It turns me off. This is a red flag. Next up, problematic. Communist flag. This is probably the biggest thing you should look out for before deciding whether you should commit to a woman. Is she problematic? Is she always causing drama? Or does she give you peace of mind? Do you feel at peace when you're with her? Do you feel relaxed when you're with her? Some women are just so problematic, they can't keep their hands out of trouble, and these girls are just horrible to deal with. Clingy. I have a soft spot for clingy girls because, let's be honest, bro, it's kind of an ego boost when a girl's clingy, hitting you up and blowing up your phone all the time. But when it comes to the longevity of a relationship, if a girl is extremely clingy, she tends to have a lot of issues and the relationship is more likely to fizzle out and die down very quickly. You definitely want her to be passionate on her end, but not to the point where she's just clingy and never leaving you alone and always wondering where you are. But personally, I'm gonna put it in orange flag. You may appreciate the fact that she's clingy initially, but give it a couple months and you're going to get very annoyed and tired of it. Next, we have career oriented, and I'm gonna put this at red flag, and the reason I'm not putting it any higher is because in this day and age, things have changed. A lot of women need to be career oriented. A lot of families need both parents working. But again, a woman can have a job and not necessarily be career oriented. She can have a career but still be more relationship oriented than career oriented, given that the man is doing his part and making most of the money. But if a woman is extremely competitive and values her career and her money over a relationship, you're always going to feel like there's something missing in the relationship. So I would personally always go for a relationship oriented woman, one who thinks more about me and the relationship than her fucking job. Next up, we have withholds femininity, and we're talking about initially, right? When you first meet a woman. If she's withholding femininity, it's completely normal because, you know, you're not going to expect a girl to clean and cook for you on the first fucking week of meeting her. But at the same time, you should also be withholding your masculinity until she earns it. Some of you guys are trying to be romantic and take her out and do all this masculine shit and show her how much of a man you are when she hasn't earned any of that treatment. So I'll put withholds femininity at yellow flag. Next, we have attention seeker. This is going straight to communist flag. Women who are attention seekers are selfish. They're going to try their best to consume and drain as much attention out of you without giving you any intimacy and romance and connection. You're gonna feel scammed. She's probably doing this with many other guys as well. This type of girl loves to go out and club and dress promiscuously to get attention. Next, we have piercings, and I'm just gonna put this right next to tattoos for the exact same reason. Next up, plays video games. Major red flag. You know, most guys have a dream of having a gamer girl because they're fucking gamers themselves and they want to date this girl who plays video games. Unfortunately, bro, you have the completely wrong idea of what a girl who plays video games is gonna be like. Girls with masculine hobbies like video games and shit, like, there's nothing wrong with her playing video games with you now and then, but like if she's hella obsessed trying to reach prestige master in Call of Duty or trying to fucking rack up victory royales on Fortnite, I hate to break it to you, but this girl is going to care more about the video game than the relationship with you. And it's pretty strange because a lot of women just play video games for the male attention component, because video games are filled with men, right? So when they hop on the lobby or when they hop on the call, it's always going to be dudes playing with them. It's rarely ever going to be other girls. So I feel like that's also another way they just want to rack up male attention. Next up, bad conversation skills. I'm going to put this at orange flag because if you're going for a really hot girl, chances are she's going to have bad convo skills because she's never had to develop her charisma or her conversation skills. She's just going to get everything based on her looks. If you really value having the type of conversation where you're going back and forth and both you and the woman are in a flow state, just go for an ugly girl then. Obviously, guys, I'm just playing, but next up, we have doesn't reciprocate, and this is going to be a red flag for the exact same reason as mixed signals. Next up, we have simps over celebrities. I feel like every girl does this harmless to an extent, you know. Some girls are harmless with it. They just have some fucking posters on their wall. But if she's just like always around you, blatantly fucking talking about celebs and how hot they are, and like you feel like, damn, like if this guy was here in the room with us right now, she would jump and leave me in a second. Okay, we know this is true for all women, but like, can she at least be less obvious about it? So I'll put this at orange flag, you know. It's not a complete deal breaker, but it's just like, fuck off. Next up, has a big ego. This is a major red flag because women with big egos are always going to think that they're better than you. They're always going to feel entitled to your effort and your attention, and you're never going to feel like they're grateful to be present with you or anything like that. Unfortunately, because of social media, every woman has a huge ego, even if she's a fucking 4, because they're getting attention from men at record rates we've never seen before. Next, we have nymphomaniac, and all this means is a woman who has a really high sex drive. Those kinds of women tend to be promiscuous and ran through and have extremely high body counts, so communist flag. Next up, drug addict, communist flag, probably promiscuous. You don't want to be dating a girl who's low vibrational doing drugs. Do I even have to explain this one? Next up, high body count, communist flag again. Women cannot pair bond with men unless they have a low body count. The studies make it abundantly clear if she has a high body count, she's more likely to cheat. She's more likely to be dissatisfied in the relationship. She's more likely to be unhappy with her own life. And she's infinitely more likely to have mental health issues. Next up, makes you feel weak. And I'm going to explain what this means. There are some women that you're going to come across in your life where you're going to have a conversation with them. You're going to take them out on a date. But pay attention to how you feel after it. Because there are some women who you're going to talk to. You're going to go home and you're going to think something feels off. Like I don't feel more rejuvenated. I don't feel like more of a man after talking to her. I feel like my energy is drained. Pay attention to your energetic state. It's going to tell you whether you're compatible with this girl, and it's going to tell you whether the right masculine to feminine dynamic has been established. So I'm going to put this at major red flag.